Hello, everyone. We're back. So, Powered.Podcast is back, this time with Ratomir. Ratomir is one of my old friends. We know each other for more than 6 years, something like that.
Yeah,
We worked with,
maybe more, but yeah.
yeah, maybe more. We worked together at Crossover, and I want to say hello to all our friends who might see this podcast or not. Ratomir, can you tell me in a couple of words what you do?
Yeah, but at the moment I'm working as a head of product at Vebio, Irish company that is in, let's say, conversational AI niche for credit and collections. My day job it's let's say learning new stuff about AI, expanding my knowledge, and also managing teams. Right now, we are, let's say, in a very good position, so we are scaling up. So that's very good. And when it's come to my night job, I'm doing basically everything. So yeah, I'm learning a lot of about ethical hacking and cybersecurity. That's my new passion. I figured
Oh,
out a few months ago. So I'm trying to be active on Try Hack Me website, and also I'm reading a lot about in general ethical hacking and also how networks works, and also I'm learning about Linux mostly.
that's wonderful. Are you running Kali or something like that?
Yeah. So Kali is my new passion, and to be honest, I have a thumb drive here that is painted in green, so I can know that Kali is on that drive. So yeah,
Wow. I remember from the time we met, you were doing UX and UI, and now you're head of product. So how does that connect? Would you explain how one leads to another?
yeah. So first of all, I'm in IT since 2008. So I'm not sure, 16 years or something like that. And I started as a, let's say, website designer, developer, whatever. I gained some experience in the front end, and a few years later, UI, UX, or user interface and user experience design become a thing. Before that, there wasn't a clear,
Uh,
let's say, border between front end and the design. And yeah, I started working as a UI UX designer, moved a little bit more to user experience and the product. After that, I was chief product officer for one startup from US. It was called Scout Deals, and I was on that position for 3 years. After that, I was I joined the crossover as I'm not sure what my title was. For example, something stupid chief user experience architect or something like that. But yeah, I was in charge for user experience and also shaping up products in general. So digital products are, let's say, my passion. And because of that, I moved to let's say, running after crossover. I moved to, let's say, entrepreneurship. And I was running my agency very successfully. And yeah, then this, let's say, IT crisis hit. I lost a few clients, and I got a very good job offer from Vebio, and I joined Vebio as as a user experience architect, user experience designer, or whatever you want to call it. And a few months later, I was I got a promotion to head of product.
does a head of product job has a lot in common with user experience job?
Yeah. So if you want to be a good head of product, you need to understand the user experience and user interface. Also, you need to be able to quickly, or let's say, create a rapid prototype for your idea, so you can validate that. So it's very beneficial. Personally, I know few head of products who don't have that experience, and they are very struggling. So I think it's very crucial to have a user experience as let's say, the most important skill when it's come to head of product or in general product management.
This is really interesting. You're saying about validation. Can you please explain what you mean by just quickly sketch and validate? Validate on whom? On clients? On your
Yeah.
managers?
Now, first of all, depends on your budget. Ideal environment is that you create a prototype in Figma, clickable prototype, of course, nothing special. Then go to in front of your customers, potential clients, your target market or target demographics or whatever you want to accomplish, and collect the feedback. See how they feel about your solution. Collect the feedback. Should something be improved? Should something, for example, be removed from your concept or prototype? So it's a basically rapid prototyping where you can easily and fast with a very, very low amount of money to validate your idea and, let's say, move forward or reject that idea if needed.
And how, if you are tight on budget, how would you do that?
There are some, let's say, in cybersecurity, you have let's say, uh, not in cybersecurity, in hacking, you have a black hat, gray hats, and also white hats.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a budget for proper user testing, you need to go from that white hat a little bit more toward black hat. So there are always Twitter communities, Facebook groups, or something like that, where you can, for free, collect a feedback from someone from your target market. Again, there is a one huge obstacle. It's called mom test by famous book. You can read it. But mom test is that you should never validate your idea with friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they are not objective; they are very subjective. And for example, if you can remember, probably when you were a kid, you were building, let's say, some blocks, a Lego or something like that. And when you ask anyone from your family, they will say, "Well, yeah, it's great, but it's not." So just avoid that mom test trap. And yeah, in general, you will be fine. When you don't have a budget, again, you can test with your stakeholders, but you need to be extra careful because they are having a lot of different interests that can, let's say, affect the end result when it's come to releasing that product to market.
Mm, I want to ask you about you started by saying that you are now interested in cybersecurity, and I really love the idea that you don't need to have you like I call them boxes. So you don't need to fit into certain boxes. You can fit in multiple boxes, right? And I know your approach about like these multiple boxes, but I want to hear it again. So I know that you are interested in I now know you are interested in cybersecurity, but I know that you had a passion for play, right? You joined
Yeah,
a
I'm theater actor.
yes,
Yeah, for the last 4 years. Yeah.
and you are doing something else. Can you tell us more about that and how one? I'm just curious, like how one is helping another because I know they do. Because I know
Yeah.
that the mindset from one doing one thing in one field helps another, and as I'm also very interested in multiple things, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm a person who is easily bored, to be honest, and because of that, I need to have a lot of hobbies. For example, photography is one of my hobbies. Also, pub quizzes, also doing quizzes at all. It's my passion. Theater acting as well. I'm very passionate about my motorcycle, and I'm riding my motorcycle. I like to travel, and I have a lot of things that I like to do. Someone will say that probably I have ADHD. Probably I have. I never got diagnosed or something like that. But I'm seeing that as my advantage, to be honest, because, for example, I like mysteries, solving problems. I like quizzes and similar stuff. And because of that, I started playing GeoGuessr for example. GeoGuessr is a game that you are basically dropped anywhere in the world on the Google Street View, and you need to guess where are you. And that was amazing for me. It's everything that I ever imagined. I got a very high rank, and I'm not like some let's say very famous geoguessers, but yeah, I'm very proud of my score. I think I'm in gold one or something like that league, and I'm very happy about that. And yeah, because of that, I figured out that the technique for GeoGuessr, it's basically called OSINT, or open source intelligence, where you're basically able to collect open source information to solve some problem, to do some task or something like that. And when I figured out what is OSINT, I started to digging into, in general, ethical hacking, cybersecurity, and everything. And I figured out that everything that I like to do in my free time as a, let's say, someone who probably have ADHD is inside of cybersecurity. You're having a real problem. You need to solve a problem. For example, if you are playing a blue team, red team, or whatever, let's say whatever role that you are taking in cybersecurity, you will be able to fight the challenges similar to quizzes, similar to puzzles, games, and then similar stuff. And I see a really, really huge value that I can, for example, provide in a, I don't know, 3-5 years when I learn enough to call myself, let's say, ethical hacker or pen tester or something like that. Again, I'm mentioning ethical hacking and pen testing because right now I'm very, let's say, I'm very passionate about it, and I think that I will probably choose that route in my cybersecurity career. But yeah, for now, I'm for sure staying in a product, and we will see what will happen in a few years.
That's really interesting. So one passion of one game led to you to ethical hacking, and you are just jumping from one train to another and just combining your skills to add up. And I see like being able to understand cybersecurity issues and having knowledge in product can create a really good like a foundation for startup or something. And I really love that.
Maybe I don't know, to be honest. And also to addition to everything that we discussed with my wife, I created one software as a service, or let's say marketplace, for couples therapy. It's still in some kind of a beta phase or something like that, but probably next year or year after we'll try to launch that product. Because we are facing with a lot of challenges. We started that idea, let's say, just as a fun exercise, and we ended up paying one of our friends to build that product. Product is working, but the issues with compliance, some legal stuff, because that's a mental health care. We need to got approvals and whatever, and that's very, very complicated. I don't have a time right now for that. I'm focusing on product, or let's say my career as a head of product, and also I'm learning cybersecurity, so I'm full for the next probably year or two. But my wife will probably take care of our platform.
That's great. Waiting to see it live. And my next
I can
question.
always show you again. It's working, but yeah, we don't have a users.
Let me, just give me the link. I will put in the comments if anyone will be
No, no,
interested.
no, 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 please. Because again, we don't have a let's say some legal approvals to
Okay, then
provide
just
that
send me.
service.
I will take a look
Yeah, yeah.
privately. Uh, my next question would be, so how does head of product, in your case, interact with engineers? Because my target there is helping engineers, and
That's the $1 million question, and that's the $1 million problem. because all the product people, from product managers, even project managers, also head of products as well, product owners, or anyone who is inside of a product, it's having a tough time with R&D, or let's say developers. Uh, that's something that I'm seeing right now as a normal, because everyone's seeing their job from a different angles, from a different perceptions, and from different perspective. Uh, from my perspective or perception, it's very interesting to see that there are some kind of a pattern between all the developers when it's come to providing estimates. When they are providing estimates, there are two cases. When they are overestimate or underestimate. So, and that's a very, very, let's say, huge span. For example, if I ask you, Ruben, how much time do you need to build this feature? You will say, I don't know, 2 weeks. And if I ask a different developer, he will say, I don't know, probably 2.5 months. So there are no middle ground, and it's very, very hard to have that communication. It's good when you have, for example, CTO who is, let's say, bridging that gap between product and the development. But in most cases, even the CTOs are on the side of a developers, not on the side of a business, or let's say product. So
Mm-hmm.
that can be very, very stressful. When it's come to general communication, again, there is no unified approach that I can say. For example, yeah, Ruben, if you want to be a good head of product, you need to use this, and that's it. So again, every person is a different. Every team member is let's say different, and it's very hard to find that balance. So people skills are something, in addition to user experience skills, are something that is really welcomed and let's say required, even required for a head of product, or anyone in product department.
I can't agree more. People skills, I think, are very underappreciated, mostly in technical roles,
Yeah.
because we mostly look at the more, let's say, technical knowledge. Like when we're doing interviews, we're checking how good are people at solving problems. But as we were talking in other podcasts, it's always about people and who you work with, and it's really hard to. It's really hard when technical people get into management, and now they need to, as or even not getting into management, but trying to estimate something. So getting out of that solving the problem mindset to talking to people, understanding the issues, understanding the product, understanding the business needs. Uh, are there things that you think will benefit managers? They might apply, or are they things you are using to deal with engineers?
Yeah, there is a. I will need to do a little bit of promotion here, but sorry for that. There is a one tool, and everyone knows about it. It's called ChatGPT, or Anthropic's Claude, or whatever you want to call it. So whenever you are having doubts in the estimates, or any approach that our developers are taking, or something like that, you can always ask, let's say, language model, and get a response that is non-biased, and yeah, it's very, very good thing. So right now we're having a ChatGPT, Claude, or Bing AI. I'm not sure what it's called for from Microsoft. I know what it is, but I can't recall. And yeah, when it's come to skills, right now it's let's say using language models. Before that, it was Googling, to be honest, and also
Mm.
using a Stack Overflow or similar things. So right now, let's say we made an evolution in a search, let's say in a searching from Google to language models. And I think that technique and also tools such as prompt creation and everything like that is something that every non-technical person should have beside these two that I already mentioned. When it's come to other things, such as skills, I think every product person should know how internet works, first of all, how servers are working. Also, the most important thing, what is API and what API it's doing. And when it's come to some other, let's say, a little bit more technical stuff, it's always good to know a syntax of at least one or two programming languages. And yeah, I'm not counting CSS and HTML there, but yeah, it's something that you should learn at least to recognize the issue, and also, for example, what is the function and what that function can do as an output.
I love that you're mentioning like more holistic approach of getting into issues, like not just talking about product or user experience stuff, but knowing everything that is happening under the hood that will help you. Can you bring some examples where it helped you? Maybe from your
Um, in
career.
in basically every week, I'm feeling that my knowledge from front end is helping me. I'm pretty solid with some JavaScript frameworks, or let's say libraries, with React and Angular, and complete Node.js backend engine for web applications. And that is helping me just to understand the scope of work, because as a head of product, I'm owning the product roadmap. And when I'm owning a product roadmap, I need to be precise, very precise, let's say, like that. And it's helping me just to avoid, or let's say close that gap between underestimate or overestimate. So in most cases, we will be around some, let's say, projected timelines. Again, the roadmap is a living document, and we're adjusting our roadmaps based on our roadblocks. But that is something how it's helping me. And also, I also mentioned the rapid prototyping. There are also some other tools that I used previously. Right now, I'm not using, where you can, with let's say, a minimal knowledge of JavaScript, create even more interactive prototypes, and bring that prototype very fast in front of your test audience.
Uh, can you tell me what do you think? Okay, can you tell me what is your job about? Like, what does head of product do in day to day? It's not for sure. It's not just like managing estimations, right?
No,
Just
no,
want
no.
to know. Let's start from the scratch. Let's say you are invited to a startup, and you are a head of product, and now you need to, I don't know, estimate anything or start working. What do? You have a technical team, you have a CTO, let's say, and now you can focus on what you do. So let's start.
Yeah, the most important thing that head of product it's doing, it's creation of features and new ideas, and also to create a roadmap. You need to create items that will be on that roadmap. So first of all, I will give you an example from Vebio. When I started working as a head of product, I had a very huge task to came up with a solid plan for the next 1 year, let's say from 1 to 3 years. And I was creating all the innovative features. So first of all, I used a pen and paper and write down all the ideas that I had. I also see, let's say, I also saw, can I, for example, uh, present these features and functionalities to our technical team, because Vebio it's in AI. Again, I'm saying that we're in AI industry, but also we are in a fintech, so it's credit and collection. So there are a lot of let's say EU regulatives that you need to follow to be aligned with some legal stuff, first of all, and as well when it's come to that AI part, sometimes my ideas or my wishes are not technically achievable. For example, a state of AI, it's still not there, or it's there, but it's there only for companies that are having a revenue above, I don't know, $1 billion or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So when I'm creating that, let's say one item or a feature, I'm trying to connect with the existing system if there is existing system. If not, I will just leave it as it is and also try to connect with other features just to connect all the features or items or ideas into one system. And right now we're having a very, very solid roadmap and idea how we are seeing our product. And what I can say publicly is that right now we are going step by step, creating one feature at a time, one, let's say, a functionality at a time, one upgrade at a time. But also when we are creating a few features or functionalities, we are always connecting and adding that to the system. But again, since this is a very innovative field, sometimes things can go south. And because of that, I plan that, let's say, uh, that case where, for example, we are building a feature, but we are not able to connect with another feature to create a third feature combined or something like that. In that case, we are just leaving these two features standalone.
Mm.
So, well, again, we're having some kind of a damage control and also trying to be innovative.
Um, so you were telling that you are creating 1 to 3 years roadmap,
Yeah.
and that's another question. How do you manage like fastly changing world? I mean, last year there was no AI, now there is AI. Another year there is something else. So I mean, how do you and everything is changing, regulations are changing, and if you have a roadmap, but then it needs to change, how do you manage that?
First of all, as I said, the roadmap is a living document. So it's just like a backlog in Jira or any project management tool that you're using. So we're always adjusting monthly our roadmap, or let's say we're verifying is, for example, feature number 5 still on the time. We don't have any roadblockers. We have a very high confidence that we will be able to produce this feature. Also, we are collecting user feedback, also feedback from our existing and potential clients, for example, and it's a ongoing work uh, just because, let's say, we are not able to predict future. But again, right now, future it can be easily predicted. For example, you're mentioning AI was not here a year, 2 or 3 years ago. For example, Webio exists since 2016, and they are having their own, let's say, LLM that they are using. So that is something that, let's say, it's always been there, but we had a very, let's say, high drawback from a blockchain, Web3 or something like that. And you need to find out what should be a next big thing for the
Yeah.
investors and venture capitals and whatever you wanted to call it. So it's a little bit more marketing play than a real innovation from concretely from OpenAI. Again, OpenAI GPT-2 existed years ago before GPT-3. But the one thing that changed the whole world, do you know what it is?
No, no.
It's just that they hired a user interface designer to create a user interface for that. So,
That's very funny.
so yeah. So again, future is it's very predictable, to be honest, when it's come to tech. Uh, there are some, of course, things that you are not able to predict, such as the politics, wars, sanctions, or something like that. But in ideal, isolated world, let's say we know in which direction technology is going.
Where do you think technology is going?
Right now, right now, technology is going more to automation. Again, automation exists since I think 80s, or even before that. Sorry, in factories you had automations, but right now, let's say we will have a high level automation. And when it's come to automation, we will also have that artificial intelligence. Again, it wouldn't be a real AGI, or let's say it like that, but it would be a um, supporting tool where you will be able to uh, give, or let's say enrich your work or your task with the more insights, with the speed optimization and similar things. And that is where I'm seeing that AI it's going. Again, human interference into these processes should be minimal, but again, it will be, let's say, human interventions here and there. And similar with all the industries in the past, when something is new, it's coming. There is a high risk that that would, let's say, that would attack existing industries and try to ruin them. For example, you had a huge industry with wild horses, selling horses or something like that, and you have a Ford that built the first car. So again, that is something that it's just in a human nature to do that innovation, and because of that, I'm seeing that we're evolving as a human species. Why? Because we're becoming a very good maneuvering with machines, and I'm seeing a human race as some kind of probably from few MMORPG games, little dwarfs that are good in robotics, or good in technology or something like that. So I'm seeing a human race as a that kind of a race from MMORPGs.
Yeah, I was discussing with my friends and probably on this podcast also, but I don't remember that I feel like the industry, like everyone is saying, oh, AI is changing like how the software development was. But I feel like for the most companies, it's as you said automation, and now I see like no code as another big thing that is happening like really fast. And no code is awesome. People can build websites, build products without code, just I don't know, drag and dropping using AI or whatever. And I think it's really people don't talk about no code much, though it is here, and it is something that is impacting the market as a new thing, a newer thing, let's say.
Yeah, so when it's come to no code again exists, or let's say partially no code exists for from I think 2015 or something like that. So again, that's something that it's still there, but with AI, or let's say LLMs and ChatGPT, Claude, and the similar tools, people are started people started realizing that maybe they can become a little bit of gray hat hackers and use some kind of shortcuts to build that product, to wrap up their idea, to test it or something like that. And that's a very valid point. And I'm not sure, are you aware, but there is a cursor.com,
Mm-hmm,
you know about that?
mm-hmm.
So again, that yeah, it's not a no code, it's a fully code, but you are communicating with the cursor via Claude 3.5 Sonnet, I think, and his output is based on your prompt. For example, you can write down, okay, build me a I don't know, web app that will calculate how many days until my birthday. Use Angular, use, I don't know, Node.js, use for database if you need it, use, I don't know, Supabase or something like that. And he will do everything for you. Again, you have an option to connect multiple documents and let cursor to analyze them and find the error or something like that. So debugging, first of all, changed a lot. And the debugging I'm seeing as a core, let's say, the foundation stone of whole development. I never met a developer who can write a code without any issue and without any roadblocks or bugs that they need to debug for hours or something like that. And right now with Claude, you're skipping that completely. So again, it's still code development, but again, you are not coding. You can just use natural language to communicate with Claude and with Cursor AI powered by Claude, and you will get enough knowledge to accomplish any tasks.
Okay, that's really interesting point. Um, so my next question would be, um, have you seen any new trends in product like as a field, right? Where is, except LLMs, we see LLMs everywhere. But do you see any new products, like any new trends in products, like where everything might go tomorrow? I understood we would be more like dwarves, controlling robots. But what are the next robots we might be building?
That's hard to predict, but I'm seeing a lot of positive movements in biotech industry. And with new LLMs and AI models or whatever you want to call it, I'm seeing a lot of good results and good products that probably will be released in a year or two. For example, right now, biotech products become even more smarter. Before that, when it's come to, let's say, analyzing any data or something like that, we had minimal or let's say um, very low processing powered calculations and analytics and digging deep into the issues. And right now we're having LLMs that are fed with a lot of data, with a thousand of I don't know, thousands of not gigabytes, it's terabytes. It's not a terabytes. I'm not sure what is
Mm-hmm.
the highest, but with a lot of data, and they basically know everything. Again, there are some issues with hallucinations, and when it comes to these hallucinations in LLMs and similar stuff, they can be easily treated inside of a very specific niche. When I'm saying, let's say, for example, for biotech, I'm seeing that few people that that I personally know, they are really relying on language models. They are feeding with, let's say, their books, their reports, their analysis, and they are putting such a restriction that basically you don't have any hallucinations, or let's say you are minimizing the level of hallucinations from LLMs. And you can, I'm not able to speak a lot of about that, but envision that you're having a sample or from a cell, and you have a one another cell, for example, cancer cell that is attacking other cell or whatever, and you're testing a new medicine, and you need to run hundreds of thousands of tests to see is that medicine, let's say, killing the cancer cell or something like that. With help of AI, I think that it would be easier to predict the output of these test results. You will skip a lot of time, and also you will be able to let's say, get projections when it's come to clinical trials, and you will be able to have a more confident when you come to clinical trial with a medicine, for example, that your medication will pass medical trials without any bad uh, bad outputs, let's say like that, or harmful outputs. So yeah, that is something that I think biotech is new fintech, to be honest.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. And I know that in Armenia there is a group, and they are public. And they were I was on a lecture when they were explaining. It's called Yerevan NN, and they were on a lecture. They were explaining how they are finding new chemical compounds with the use of LLMs. So basically, they were saying, oh, we cannot start the training from the scratch because it's a huge computing power, but we have the models who basically understand the statistics, and if we feed it if we try to train it, like just modify it enough so it can output us chemicals, and now it can, like just LLM with some modification, with some filters and some, I don't know, like modifications, it can output you molecular structure. And that's like
Yeah,
fascinating to
yeah.
me to see that's happening. And also, yes, they the only thing that I see, and I'm really curious how it will go, and I really hope that it will happen. I see that a lot of things now are happening on the cloud because of the huge computational power that is needed to run the LLMs. If you try to run it on your laptop, it will be very slow. But just thinking that everything now needs to be connected to the internet is kind of scary. Maybe you have thoughts on that.
Again, again, there are some very pessimistic views on future of AI and especially AGI, to be honest. But again, I really don't believe that that would happen in next, I don't know, 30 years. Or
Hmm.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
just
it's
not.
very futuristic, and I
No, I'm
think
not
really
talking about AI
that
taking
it's
over the
just a
world.
buzzword.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not talking
Oh,
about AI taking over the world, but I mean, like, imagine you have I don't know, some medical product that is helping you to accomplish some task, and to use that you need to be connected to the internet, and then imagine you are in some bad situation where internet is cut out, or you haven't paid your bills or something, and now you cannot use half of your house, half of your body, or something else because LLM doesn't work.
again, humans cannot be, let's say, dependent on LLMs, to be honest. But yeah, maybe AGI or some higher version of AGI, future version or whatever, could do that. But again, that I think wouldn't happen in next 30 years.
Yes. So today we have spoken, starting from product from UI UX to ethical hacking to AI, and every conversation is going to be about AI from now on. But I know that we have a lot more to speak about, and I'm grateful that I had time to speak with you. Thank you so much for participating in this podcast, and I hope to talk to you next time.
Thanks. It was
Thank you
my
so
pleasure,
much.
and talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.